for a few days now. We came on account of road safety sensitization. As you may be aware, during festive season, that is when people are excited, and we often have accidents as a result of these festivity activities. So RTSA, or should I say government, through RTSA has designated a week of road safety sensitization and law enforcement activities, and we thought that we should undertake some of these activities here in Eastern Province. I also inform you that during this period we provide a lot of enforcement officers across the country. Eastern Province also would not be exempted. In addition to that, we also do a lot of sensitization. So this is why we have been in your province to try and talk to people, all road users, pedestrians, motorists, as well as those who cycle or ride on motorbikes. The idea is to just make sure all the people become conscious of the period we are in, and that it is necessary to obey traffic rules. It is necessary to be certified to be on the road. It is also necessary that the various equipment, motor vehicles, motorbikes, are actually certified fit to be on the road. So that's a message we are taking across the country, and we chose to do these activities in the province.
We are very grateful for your visit to Eastern Province. And, you're always welcome. This is not the first time you're coming into the province. And for the many times that you have come, you have been the vision carrier for the President's wish to improve in the areas of transport, in the areas of communication, and all the activities that you've carried out in the province are a proof or fruit of what His Excellency has chosen to be his main agenda for the province. I remember you coming through and launching some of the towers, and through those towers we've enhanced communication to most parts of the province. Parts that were previously not reachable, places that have never been reachable since the creation of this earth. Yes. Everyone likes saying since independence, as though before independence there was something, but since the creation they've not been reachable in terms of telecommunication. But this time around they're able to call, and this time around they're able to access the internet. And we can only pray for prudent use of our communication systems. Then as regards transport, we thank you most sincerely for the sensitization that you've carried out in the province. And we have seen the confidence in RTSA increasing over the last 4 years. And people have been able to attest to the response time in times when they wanted to get the driver's licenses, the changes that you've made when it comes to PSV licenses. All that is being appreciated in the province, because a lot of people are being empowered with licenses. We can only pray that we extend this by having mobile registrations extending to the different districts that do not have RTSA. We also wish to thank you for opening a station in Mutotwe. We had people having to come all the way from Nyimba to Chipata merely to get a license, but the distance has been cut short. For those in Mutotwe, it is now resident there, and we hope for rolling out more of such activities to the other districts. And for now, we can only ask that we have mobile licensing units to be going around on a scheduled basis, so that other places can also have access to that. And as regards the festivities, we, as a country, we record the most accidents during the festivities, and your coming is pretty much timely, especially in Eastern Province, where we have all forms of transport. Yes. Bicycles, motorbikes, and motor vehicles are all on the road.
Absolutely.
And competing for space.
Absolutely.
And during these festivities, we can only pray that people who adhere to the traffic regulations, especially that we are about to experience a second wave of COVID, we expect that most people will be not on the streets, not in bars, they will stay at home and will substantially reduce the incidences on the roads. We can only wish you the best as you return to Lusaka, and pray that you continue working hard and pushing the vision of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We appreciate it.
Morning.
Yes, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Great.
Morning.
Good morning. Great.
Good morning.
Valeu.
Sir,
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
You are in Eastern Province.
I'm here.
Who gave you a key?
I'm Festive.
No.
I'm visiting you.
This is my constituent.
Your constituent. Oh, he has moved now. He's voting from Malambo constituency.
Yeah. So, Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Those were very gracious words spoken of the system. I think we are charged with a responsibility to contribute, and contribution is just in time and in space. So clearly, for me, I really appreciate the space I've been given by His Excellency. I also appreciate the time I live in. These two parameters causes what I'm able to contribute at this time. And it's the same for you. It's the same for everybody who has a privilege in whatever capacity they do have. What we do is to support the president. As you know, all of this work we do, it's his work. The Zambians chose him to deliver development, to deliver services to them, and the president also chooses a few people to support him. So it's not about us, it's about him. And it's my sincere hope that each time I have a chance to do something, it's done with dignity. It's done representing the wishes of His Excellency the President. Because if I don't contribute, to the fullest of my capability, I'm doing a disservice to him. And through him, obviously, doing a service to the Zambian people. So thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your encouragement. I think we need to encourage each other in this, thankless society we live in. So I appreciate. I really do.
We hope we can as well get some land and do some farming in Eastern Province.
Absolutely. Why?
I have
Absolutely.
noticed it's raining very well in the
Yes.
province.
Oh, yes.
And you've been very accurate in telling us in terms of what the rainfall expectations
Yes.
are going to be. And we are hopeful that we'll have a better harvest than we did in the last farming season. The last farming season, we harvested over 600,000 metric tons of maize. And thanks to the early delivery of inputs by the Ministry of Agriculture. And this time around, the same was done. We expect a better yield in the coming years. And the valley areas, of course, those places are prone to floods. And you have been on top of things and letting us know what the climatic conditions are going to be in the year. And we're very grateful. This time around, we're able to read the weather and plant what is appropriate in different places.
Absolutely.
So we're most grateful about that, especially with the diversification. We know that agriculture is not equivalent to maize, as has been the thought of that, but people have diversified and growing different kinds of crops.
Yes.
And the future of our province, like we've always said, is in value addition. We're hoping from just having the raw crop, we're able to process it further and gain better value for them, especially with the incentives that have been placed in the next year's budget as regards the local production or local content. We are hopeful that Eastern Province will greatly benefit from that. We're very grateful for your visit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I'm just tempted to comment on on the weather prediction. Um, just yesterday, I had the privilege of meeting the DAO, and I boasted of President Lumbu being a president of development. When we're talking about these developments, a lot of things come to mind. But to be able to predict the weather this accurately required investment. When PF took over government in 2011, there were 49 manual weather stations responsible for collecting data and analyzing data using manual models. Today, we have put over 130 automatic weather stations. Now, how do you collect weather data on an automatic basis? You need enablers. This is why the telecommunication towers we talked about are not just facilitating data or voice. They are also facilitating the automatic collection and dissemination of data. We need to collect weather data here in Eastern Province, send it to a center where that data is analyzed. So this development is interrelated. Okay. Today we are able to collect weather data and send into Lusaka for analysis. Again, there in Lusaka, we are not doing manual analysis. We've resourced the center with technology sufficient or appropriate to be able to make the analysis and outcomes of models are able to give us this accurate data. So you see that this development we're talking about is focused on the real important issues. And when we say President Lungu is a president of development, some people argue. But it's diversity. It's political diversity, which we encounter. And we have to just accept it's what it is. But we need to keep on telling people that this man means well. Because obviously it does. In Chasefu, 9 telecommunication towers, 1 constituency. Okay? And I've been there to see. Chama in Lunte, where I'm privileged to serve as MP. In Sesheke, I've been there. It's not as if I've been told, I've been there. When you go to Kalabo, I have been there personally to see. You go to Narikwanda, I've been there to see. So we are talking about visibles, but these visibles may be seen in a limited way, when in fact there's so much that is happening as a result of all these things. I was just tempted to.
No, the temptation is welcome. It's important that we speak about our scores. The many things that we score. We have let others run the agenda on our behalf and telling us what we're not doing.
Absolutely.
And what is being done has been let to simmer. But we need to speak about many of these things. See, the use of social media, like I was telling you to say, there has been access to the internet in most of these places.
Yes.
And they have access to the internet and they're able to see what is happening. Others have chosen to be blind to see what exactly is happening. In the province alone, you're talking of Chama with 6 telecommunications towers.
7 actually.
7. I've got 6 in my constituency, and overall we have over 100.
76.
Yes, with the addition that you're going to.
Yes, I'm reading addition.
Yes, the additions that you're going to bring, that will come to close to 100, if not over 100. So all those are visibles that we are able to boast about. The connections that we have in terms of road infrastructure. We're not yet there, but we're progressively moving towards improving the road infrastructure to make most of the places reachable, because we realize that the farmers need access to the market, and the market itself also needs access to the farmers.
Yes.
And we can only do that through
Connectivity.
improving connectivity. So His Excellency has sanctioned about 1,000 kilometers for each province, and we will have our share of 1,000 kilometers of road networks. We have things being done here and there. It's been quite slow because of the COVID issues, but resources are being availed timely. The President just released about 500 million, which is going to go towards road infrastructure to improve access even to the towers as well, because from time to time they'll need maintenance, so we need to improve that access in terms of in terms of the use hospitals, as it were. We know that we have put quite a number in the province. Clinics, health centers, we have put quite a number, and we look forward to ICTs being used in our hospitals, where we do not need a doctor to come to Chipata to carry out an operation. We have seen where a doctor could be seated in UTH and simply direct him at what to be done.
Absolutely.
And all that is done instead of transporting patients all the way to Lusaka. So we're seeing these interventions and our concentration on ICT being the backbone of development in this country. I'm looking forward to Zambia being the Silicon Valley of Africa, and our access to internet being properly used, where we should have the young ones being able to make applications, being able to learn coding most in schools, as is happening in other countries. I know you have come as an expert on internet access and the use of internet. I'm sure you'll be able to.
Guys, I don't know whether they are exploiting this internet to also deliver some of their services. You just might want to acquaint the minister.
Sure.
And government, is it government bus or
Sure,
what is it?
sure.
Yes.
Honorable Minister, thank you for the opportunity. I think in line with His Excellency President directive in terms of embracing e-governance, I think the Road Transport and Safety Agency through your ministry has fully exploited the use of ICT as a critical success factor. And to this end, you might be aware that early this year, we did unveil the RTSA online payment platform through the Government Service Pass and Payment Gateway system, which has worked very well for the RTSA in terms of allowing members of the public to access RTA services. So you can now pay for road tax in the comfort of your home, and it will be printed even here in the office without necessarily stepping at any RATSA station. So the process is an end-to-end process, where you start the process from your office and end here in your office, and you put the disc on your vehicle, meaning that the government is making it easy for people to transact and reducing the cost of doing business. And as of today, Honorable Ministers, we can safely report that over 20,000 people have transacted using the online payment platform. And our target that as we go towards the peak periods where we see a lot of people coming to queue year in, year out to pay for RATSA services, this will be a thing of the past. And the target is that we use about 50,000 plus people use this online payment platform. So we can safely report, ministers, that we are in line with the government policy of ensuring that ICTs are fully utilized with the e-governance policy. And let me also report, Honorable Minister of Provincial Minister for Eastern Province, that when you talk about development, Honorable Minister, last year we were only talking about one center in the entire province for RATSA services, but today we can boast of 3 additional points. Petauke has got its own office, and we have worked with outsourced partners such as the local authorities. Lundazi can now offer services to the people. Nyumba can now offer services to the people. And where we are not present, as of today, we have mobile licensing exercise that is taking place in Katete. So I think through the visionary leadership of the government and through the ministry, I think we are headed towards the right trajectory in terms of taking the services closer to the people. I submit.